Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will learn about one of the standard AL function called SetRecFilter. So as you can see that even in the Microsoft documentation they have mentioned it as record.setRecFilter, which suggests or which reflects that this method belongs to the table object, right? So now before we go into the Visual Studio Code to see the use case of this SetRecFilter, let's understand the definition of this SetRecFilter. What the Microsoft documentation is saying that it basically sets the values in the current key of the current record as a record filter. Uh, in simple terms, if I explain, you just see this name. It is saying that set the rec in if you are an AL developer or if you're starting, uh, I can tell you that what we in the table, what we what we refer actually rec as that the current record on which the user have selected the data in the web client. So for example, let's say I am on the customer list page and I have selected this line. So this is my current record. If I select this line, this is my current record, right? So this and in code level we refer this current record as rec. So that is why you are setting the current record as a filter. And we know that filter is like we can use to filter the data. Let's say your table have thousands of records and you want only one record or two records. So based on your current selection, you can filter the records, filter the data in your table. Okay, but yes, it has a relation with your current key. Okay, so that is a catch here. Like by default we know that our tables are sorted by the primary key itself. So if you select this, your current key is the primary key itself, which is the number, right? But we have a method called setCurrentKey in the AL language, through which if we want the data should be sorted out with the non-primary key fields, we can easily do that. And if you do that, there will be different filter will be set based on the SetRecFilter and based on the set current key in function in which the fields you define are non-primary key in nature. So let's see in the VS Code that the correct use case of the SetRecFilter method. So by default, like if you see here, I have already created one page extension of the customer list page and have added one action button here. Okay, so we will write the code to understand the SetRecFilter. And the best use case is that just type down SetRecFilter. Okay, you don't have to pass any parameter inside it. And let's see what filter it actually sets on my current record. And I want to see that. And because it is talking about the filter, so to check the current filter set on my record table, there is a method which is rec dot get filters, right? So it will give you the complete list of the filter as a string. Basically if you see this, it's a procedure which returns a text, okay, which returns a string that contains a list of the filter within the current filter group. Okay, so if I build this project and publish this, okay, let me cancel this up and then we will see the results, like what result we will get. Now let me go to the related customer and here is my action button. If you click on it, Now you see the result which I'm getting is number as 10,000 and date filter. Okay, let's ignore this part, but by default the number is the primary key and I'm getting the 10,000. Okay, so this means that SetRecFilter function sets the filter on my current record as 10,000 on the number field, and that is why, because the filter is now set, so you can see now my page is showing me up only the record of the 10,000 and not the other records, and filter is also set on the number field. If you want to see, you can see that filter is set on the number field as 10,000. Why so? Because my selection was on the 10,000 record only. If I select this and now if I press this button, you will see that filter is set on the number field with the value 20,000. So system is by default picking the field of the primary key only and setting the filter on it. Okay, so I have no control, or I have not defined any of the other fields of the table. But if we want, because the definition is saying we can do that, so we can easily do that. So let's see by changing the primary by changing the field order, right? So we know that we have one function available which is called set current key, and in this method we can provide any combination of fields which either a part of the primary key or which are not a part of the primary key or a part of the secondary key, anything like that. Okay, and based on the field which I define here, system will now set the data, set the filter on that combination. So for example, initially now it is setting up the data on the basis of uh, number, but let's say if I want a combination of name and let's say customer posting group, right? So now I want that my data will be sought out on the basis of name and customer posting group, and because I'm using SetRecFilter, so what it will do, it will set the filter on the name and customer posting group. So let's see whether it will do that or not. Published it. Right, initially I showed you the results where I have not used the set current key, so the system is by default picking up the primary key, but now I have added a set current key, so let's see the difference. Okay, here it is. As you can see that there is currently no filter set on my customer table, all the data is showing up. Okay, let's uh, let me click the button set rec filter test, and now you see that filter is set on the name and the customer posting group. Number is by default because it's a primary key, so it will always come up, but uh, the major point which we have to look out here is that now system is picking name and the customer posting group with the value on which my selection was there before I click on the button, right? So how system knows that I have to add the filter this time on the name field as well and on the customer posting group field as well, and not on the other fields? So this all happened because of the fields which I define in the set current key, right? And that is why in the documentation as well they are writing up here that it sets the value in the current key of the current record as a filter, right? So hence I'm getting this output, and system already filtered the data on the basis of my selection, right? So it is a very handy function where like something you want out of a certain large number of records, and you want to filter out some certain records only or the current selection only basically, then you can easily do that by SetRecFilter. Okay, so now let's understand the major use case on which we generally use this function is that, for example, uh, we all generally add our custom reports on the list page, on the card page itself, right? And when we add our reports, let's say here itself, if you let's say run this, okay, so now it opens the request page for you and it adds certain filter. But here, as you can see, that number field is blank, search name is blank, and then everything is blank. So what it will do, it will run the data, it will run this report for all the customers out there. But certain times our requirement is that if you are preparing a document report where you want the report should get printed on the document, on the card on which the user have opened up currently, okay, and that's why you don't want, or user don't want to add the filter manually every time when they want to run the report, because it is quite obvious that if I am on the 10,000 record, I want to run the report for the 10,000 only, or for 20,000 only, or 40,000 only, right? So as now we have seen that SetRecFilter has this capability to automatically set the filter. So what we can do here is, okay, so there is a report, customer list report, and that the ID is 101. So what I can do here is, now I'm running this report, which is customer list report. I provided the ID of it. Then the second is that if I want the if let's put your cursor here. So the second parameter is request window, which is of boolean, like if you want the report should give you some request page where you can see or add or remove certain filters or not. If you set it true, then only it will show up, otherwise request window will not show up. Then the system printer, I don't want to use that, so I set it as false. And the fourth parameter is the table itself. And now you can see that I set the record, which is this one, and we have seen here that I have already attached the SetRecFilter method with this record, and set current key is already there. So based on this, now when you run this report, system will add the filters on the request page of this report with the name and the customer posting group, right? So let's see. I'll publish this. Okay, so here as you can see, there are no filters set, and I'm currently on 10,000. Let's say this time I'll select 20,000, and if I click on my button, so now you can see here that system automatically added the filters on the request page of my report customer list with the number, because it's a primary key, then the name and the customer posting group, because I have added them in the set current key, and then I add the SetRecFilter method, right? So now it will run only for the 20,000, right? If I just okay, it set the filter as well. Let me remove it, and if I this time select the 40,000, because now you can see that it is showing me the data of the 40,000 only in the request page, and if I run this, it will run for the 40,000 itself. So this is the practical use case of the SetRecFilter method, that it basically filters the data on the basis of your current record, the current selection, and on the basis of your current key, right? And then we can utilize it in the report or any other scenario which you are developing. If you feel that this method can help you, you can easily utilize this in your development scenario. So that's all in the today's video which I would like to share. This is a standard AL function, and you can utilize it So if you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.